Boker Tov, Shavua Tov, starting a new mission, Megilat Ruth, and Megilat Hashem to finish in time for Shavuot. So based on the calculation, it should be about 2 or 3 Pasukim per day. Today we're just going to do one Pasuk, because the Gaon Mevilna, we're going to be doing the Rashi's Pshat and the Gaon Mevilna. Today's the Gaon Mevilna is a little longer. It's the longest in the entire book, but it's so fundamental, and we won't be that long, but it's something unbelievable. Let's just a little introduction, not historically, but we read Megilat Ruth on Shavuot as we see the dedication to the Torah from a convert, and such an exemplary convert, Ruth, and we could connect. We were all somewhat converts when it came to Matan Torah, and we have to try connecting to the Torah just like Ruth did, and her name, Ruth, Resh Vav Tav, it's 3 out of the 4 letters of the word Torah. So the word Ruth, the Gematria is 606, plus the 7 mitzvot that she already had, 7 mitzvot b'nei Noach, she was a non-Jew, 606 plus 7 is 613 mitzvot. It was the example of someone taking upon themselves. The example of a ger is Ruth, and taking upon herself the entire Torah, and that's why we connect the Shavuot, to take upon ourselves the entire Torah. So let's jump right into it. Perek Aleph, Pasuk Aleph. Vahi bimei shefot hashofetim. It was the time. Behold, it was the time of the judges, and Rashi tells us that this is the time frame. By the way, is about 300 years after Bnei Israel entered Israel, about 100 years before the building of the first Bet HaMikdash. This is before Shaul was king. As we're going to see at the end of Ruth, and then a few generations, and then it's David, and then Shlomo built the Bet HaMikdash. It's about 100 or so years before the first Bet HaMikdash, and at that time it was Shoftim, judges, that were the leaders of Bnei Israel, and they were the ones that were the ones guiding Bnei Israel. It was in the time of the Shoftim, Vahi Ra'av Ba'aretz, and there was a famine in Eretz Israel. Vayelech ish mi Bet Lechem Yehuda, and there was a person that went from Bet Lechem, which was in the area of Shevet Yehuda, city of Bet Lechem, Lagur B'Snei Moav. He went to go live in the fields of Moab, which is present-day Jordan. He left Israel and went to Jordan. Hu ve'ishto u'shnei banav. Him and his wife and his 2 sons. Okay, so this rich man, we're going to see in the next pasuk, Ukita for tomorrow, etc., is Elimelech, his wife Naomi, and his children Machlon and Chilion. This person, why did he go? Why did he leave Israel for? That's how it starts off. Rashi tells us he was Ashir Gadol. He was a very wealthy man, Elimelech. And he was feeding, it was a time of famine. He was feeding people, but he left because, well, he was a person that was very wealthy, but he left because Sarut Ain, he was cheap. He didn't want to, now he saw famine, he didn't want to be the guy sustaining everybody. And therefore, he skipped town so that he doesn't take care of the Aniyim. And for that reason, he got punished. He died early, his sons married Goyim, his sons died, and eventually Ruth was the daughter-in-law. She was a Goya, and eventually converted. But it was punishment that came to him because of his cheapness. And we're going to see now a little bit of a deeper explanation from the Gaon Mevilna. The Gaon Mevilna says it's very, very fundamental, unbelievable. Here we go. So he says like this: we know that there's 2 components. There is chesed and din. There is chesed and kindness, and din, judgment. He says these 2 components, chesed and din, are connected to the 2 names of Hashem. Yud and Hey and Vav and Hey is chesed, and Shakai, Shin and Dalet and Yud is din, is judgment. And he says chesed is Yud and Hey and Vav and Hey is the name of Hashem, Haya, Hoveh, Hiyeh. Those 3 letters is Yud and Hey and Vav and Hey. Haya, Hoveh, Hiyeh. Was, past, present, and future. So past, present, and future is all the time, and Hashem is an element of Him of Chesed, which he wants to do chesed to Bnei Israel, to his creations, without any limit, past, present, future. He wants to give and give and give and give and give without any limit. And then, though, there's the other side, which is deen, which is judgment. Judgment has limits. Judgment is, you're judged for this, this is what you're going to get. And that connects to the word shakai, shin, and dalet and yud. Dalet and yud is die, and shin is she die, enough. She'olam die, that it should be enough. Here's a gvul, here's a limit. Also, the word din has the letters dalet and yud in it, which is die, enough. This is a limit. Also, when the world was created, the Mefarshim say that Hashem used this word, Shakai, used that element, the name of Hashem, to stop the world. I mean, it was created. Now, where are we stopping? Where are we ending the world? It was used with that word, Shakai. So, Shakai is a representation of deen, of judgment, of ending the chesed, so to speak, of ending. He says, an unbelievable explanation. He says like this, that in each and every one of us, we have chesed and deen as well. And we have parts of us that are supposed to go unlimited, go and go and go. And there's parts of us that deen that should be restrained. The parts of us that should be unlimited is the element of chesed, which connects to the pnimiyut, which connects to our soul, which connects to spirituality. Go unlimited. Pray and learn and do chesed and do kindness to others and do mitzvot. Where we're supposed to limit ourselves? In physicality. I don't need to eat all day. I don't need to sleep all day. I don't need to take care of my physical. I got to limit that. So limit the physical, that's the deen part inside of us. But the chesed, mitzvot, Torah, etc., go unlimited. He says that's also a hint in every mezuzah. What do we see on the outside of the mezuzah? Shakai, on the outside. But on the inside of the mezuzah, we don't see. If you open it up, we have the parashiot. In the parashiot, all the names of Hashem there are Yud and Hey and Vav and Hey. So that is, chesed is on the inside, pnimiyut, spirituality. Dai, limits, is on the outside, which is physical. So that's a hint of this in every mezuzah that we see. And he says as follows. These things also work like a teeter-totter. When you do a lot of chesed and a lot of mitzvot, a lot of Torah, that limits, that connecting a lot to your spirituality, then it will overtake your physical and it will minimize it. But if you're very into physical, then it's going to minimize your spiritual. So however much emphasis you put, that will be stronger and outweigh the other one. Also, he says, there's also shamayim va'aretz. We are, chesed is shamayim, spirituality, shamayim, ruchniyut, spirituality. Aretz, land, physical, is the physical part. And he also says that's what the connection to ma'aser, to give 10%. So even back then, 10% of animals, 10% of produce. So a person, why should I give 10% for? I made this, I worked on it, etc. A person might think like that. Now, the Pasuk there says that if you give ma'aser, iftach lechem arubot hashamim ad velidai. I'm going to give you so much. If you give ma'aser, I'm going to give you so much more. And actually, the Chachamim tell us if a person doesn't give ma'aser, you'll end up only having ma'aser. You'll end up only, this year you had 100%. Next year, you're only going to get what that 10% was, you're going to only get that. So he connects this to this concept as well, that when a person, he's going in his spirituality, meaning, and it connects to Maaser, that when a person holds back, and he has here deen, and he has the opportunity to not give the Kohen the Maaser. He has the opportunity to hold things for himself. He has He has the opportunity to hold back the maaser. Sorry, to hold back and keep it for himself, but he gives it to the Kohen. He does what he's supposed to be doing with it. So what happens in that case is he overrides with his spirituality and it succumbs the physicality. Okay. He says like this: Tzaddik and Rasha. A tzaddik is when a person does so much good. Now that is the main part of his life, and that minimizes and oppresses the physical and the Rasha in him. Like the yin yang, right? You have a lot of good that minimizes the bad. A lot of bad, chas shalom, it minimizes the good. But he says there are some people that are pulled in both directions. They're pulled sometimes to the good, sometimes to Benoni, Tzaddik, Rashan is Benoni, the guy in the middle. Today he's like this, tomorrow's like that, and it's always a fight. So what happens in that case? He says that was in the time of the Shoftim. So he says like this: in the time of the Shoftim, in the time of Elimelech, etc., to destroy them because of the Rasha's side inside of them, he couldn't, because they weren't Rishayim Gemurim, they had good in them. Today they were good, tomorrow they were teeter-totter. They were in the middle. So what is the thing that Hashem does in order to break them, in order to see where they're going to end up? He gives them Yisurim, he gives them hardships. Through the hardships, are they going to run away and leave Judaism? Oh, I can't take this anymore, forget it. Or are they going to, you know what, I don't know why I'm getting the hardship. Hashem, please help me turn to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. They unfortunately failed the test and left Israel. They get these hardships. Rav, they got famine. Like, you know what? Forget this, and they skipped town. So, and then that's why they were eventually punished. So he says like this. Also, a very important fundamental. He says, number one is the chesed that Hashem gives on you, because it's all a mirror image. Meaning, why did they get this test? Why was it famine? Because they were the ones that were tested, that didn't want to give tzedakah. Tzedakah is giving to the poor. So they had a test of having less, of having famine. So too, he says, when a person does chesed with others, that is what Hashem will be mashpia on you. You give tzedakah, you're going to get tzedakah. If you teach Torah, you're going to get Torah. If you do this mitzvah, certain mitzvah, you're going to get that. What you do, that's the kli that you created in order to get. And also in the negative, you've held back tzedakah like this person. He says also a very important fundamental. The fact that Hashem gives this person more than this person, the fact that Hashem gives this person more than this person is only in order so that he should give more to the one that needs and should benefit the other one. So if you are the one that are holding back, you're going to get tested in things like a rav and a famine. And again, what happened here was they failed, that their midat hadin overrode. They were supposed to turn to HaKadosh Baruch Hu when they saw famine, but unfortunately they left Eretz Yisrael and went downhill from there. And we'll continue, B'ezrat Hashem, tomorrow, getting into their story. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen. Rabbi Chananya ben Akashya amar letzak, HaKadosh Baruch Hu lezakot, et Yisrael, fiach achiv b'adam Torah, so שנאמר, על רחם חפץ מעל צדקו יגדיל תורה וידיר.